So hi everyone, we'll present the course RANKSTORM to you. This is by us, the Super 20 IAS. We along with some veteran aspirants are going to present this course where you will go ahead and understand a lot of things about mains answer writing, especially how you're going to structure your answer and understand what are the schematics behind the answer writing. This is very important because essentially what UPSC has given in its notification is four important facets of answer writing, which is intellectual depth, succinct knowledge, orderly fashion of expression, and a summarized way of answer writing. So we need to spend a lot of time on our due economy of words, which requires our common sense as well as templates and value addition. This is a modular course जहाँ पे we are going to talk about not only how you're going to apply the templates but how to make your own templates. In this way, the common sense part is something which will be focused a lot, and that is going to help you in not only making your own templates but also utilizing our own templates and the value addition that we present to you. So let me give you a very brief idea of what we are going to do here, right? Now let's talk about the template that we have for Indian literature. We have had three questions for Indian literature. One was on Sangam literature. Second one was on the Persian literary sources, and the third one was a very recent one on Bhakti literature. Now we need to understand that this is an intersectional theme. So there is a lot of focus on intersectionality in UPSC right now. Many themes are getting merged. This merging themes is actually the fear of every aspirant that we see here. And that is why we need to understand what are the dimensions that are involved in such a questions to be prepared beforehand if such a question comes, right? So I'll just talk about the major dimensions that we will cover here. Like, first of all, in this theme, we are going to have three aspects so that when you are attempting PYQs, आपको भी थोड़ा confidence आए that yes, these are the questions that I have done, and this is how it could be made much more significant with the value addition that we do, right? Let's start off with first and the foremost thing, which is Indian literature or any literature. Now think very open-mindedly, right? What are the components of literature? आप कुछ भी किताब पढ़ते हो, आप हिंदी लिटरेचर पढ़ते हो, आप इंग्लिश लिटरेचर पढ़ते हो, एनसीईआरटी की बुक्स पढ़ते हो, what is the theme that you see there, right? So एक लिटरेचर के components होते हैं. These components are the points that are going to help you in answering the points, right? Firstly, let's understand the components of literature. The first component of literature is theme. वो किताब लिखी किस चीज पे है? Is it a religious book? It is a biography? Or is it a secular text? अर्थशास्त्र एक सेक्युलर टेक्स्ट है, बट फॉर एग्जाम्पल मुद्र रक्षिता या विशाख दत्त की किताब, these books are actually romantic or related to the daily activities. So these themes are going to help you in answering the questions, right? Now let's understand all these things, right? First is the theme part. Once you understand which theme is it, you can write the example to it, to that particular thing, and then evaluate your answer according to that. जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल यू गॉट अ क्वेश्चन ऑन भक्ति लिटरेचर इवैल्यूएशन, आई विल पुट इट इन रिलीजियस थीम. I can also put it in secular theme if, for example, Kabir ka doha is going ahead and talking about some ethical, some spiritual aspect, right? Then that is a secular theme that you're going to talk about. Biography mein, I can give an example of any Bhakti literatures, Bhakti saints literature, which is a biography of Guru Nanak Dev Ji or biography of Sant Kabir Ji, right? So in that aspect, you can mention the themes that are there for your evaluation aspect. Second is style. Now, NCRT books are written in a very paragraph style, in stories format, but Bhakti literature or Persian literature or any other form of literature, Sangam literature be it there, we write it in either prose format. So Rig Ved basically some prose format में written. Similarly, stories format me you get Panchtatra. In song, you can get the abhangs of Ramdas. You can get the dohas of Kabir. So these are the examples that you have to give in your answers, right? So how to structurally think about this is you go ahead and open your NCRT book. Imagine that you're opening your NCRT book, and first you see that this is the theme that we're talking about. Second thing that you see is the style that you're talking about. The third thing that you see is the historical significance of that text. Does that text tell me that what what is the genealogy of the political kings that were there. For example, if we talk about the text of Sangam literature, there was a political history that was given that Chola Raja mein ye order mein Raja the. So that is the order that we need to, you don't need to tell them that this is the order, but you need to understand that this text helps me in understanding the political genealogy. And similarly, the social structure. For example, Kalidas went ahead and in his Abhijanan Shakuntalam drama book, he also wrote one thing, that all the royal communication used to happen in Sanskrit, but all the daily communication used to happen in Prakrit. This tells me the social structure. So this is the kind of insight that you will be able to generate through these kind of components, right? And then the geographical spread. We all know that Nadi Sukta was a Rigvedic book which talks about 21 rivers, Himalayas, and other things. So this is the kind of component that you need to understand while studying, right? Now, let's understand the political history part, right? Kabhi kabhar UPSC tries to delve into all these three aspects. For that, you can also think on these lines, right? First is king की ancestral history. This is the genealogy that I was talking about. Then this is the polity of state. अब आप खुद सोचो, अगर मैं आपको Indian polity में पूछूं कि Indian state को explain करो in 5 words. That is the polity of state. You will talk about federalism, you will talk about decentralization, you will talk about king, you will talk about administration. In administration also, you will talk about land की administration कैसी हो रही है. You will talk about crime controls कैसे हो रहे हैं, what is the law and order aspect. So all these aspects are part of polity of state. Similarly, you have the boundaries and the foreign relations. Arthashastra is a great example of it. You go ahead and talk about how boundary and foreign relations can be explained or are explained in books like these, right? So this is the way of thinking the idea, right? This was another question that was asked in 2020. What is the Persian literary sources as the spirit of age, right? Now we all get confused. What is the spirit of age, right? So in order to break down the components of spirit of age, we have given you a fixed framework. Now this framework is not something जो आपको सिर्फ रटना है. This is a framework that you have to internalize and it should come in front of you. And this is what our practice is in these 10 days. We are not going to make you cram all these things. We are going to make you understand so that you are able to apply them on your own organic logic, right? So when we talk about spirit of age, think about this thing कि अगर मेरे को 100 वर्ड में इस एज को 1900 to 2000 के पीरियड को डिफाइन करना है, what all things I will be writing there, right? So one thing could be the customs and traditions. Like for example, in India, we see a lot of different customs were being followed. For example, in Chhattisgarh, there is a custom that was there before the British era, which was that in Dashera, the king used to be kidnapped. Now, that is something that is covered in one of the literary sources. So you can mention that this is a reflection of the age, right? Similarly, there are various customs. There is caste, there is social hierarchy, there is marriage. So we are going to talk about these themes when we are talking about the socio-cultural reflections of the ages. Similarly, there is this popular language and style. I'll come back to the Kalidas example again. So this is where you can also mention something of that sort. Then there is economic reflection, wherein you give the details about the economy. Is it welfare oriented? Is it oppressive? Is it liberal? So things like that will be covered. Then there is economic structure. Is it agrarian focused only? Do we have weavers? Do we have other services? So all these are the dimensions which you will be able to brainstorm once you know the component of itself. We are not going to stop only at the component part. We are going to tell you what this component is going to contain as well, right? Now, similarly, these things, similarly, these are the other facets of the same thing. Like, for example, in component of literature, you will also cover the message that you're going to talk about. It could be an ethical message. It could be a theological message. It could be a secular message, something like, I as Ashoka, I am going ahead and creating this particular official job whose job is to go ahead and empower the women. Similarly, there are certain artistic expressions that are also covered in the component of literature. So when we talk about the political history, there is King's Court, where we talk about what kind of justice and laws are being provided, religion, political link, and the army and military, how are this, what status are they having, right? So this is again the spirit of ages that we talked about, moral, spiritual aspect of the religion, right? So here you will see the messages that we communicate, the intellectual discourses that used to happen there. For example, Sulai Kul, Persian literature, Aine Akbari mentions about it. Sulai Kul is a forum where intellectual discourses used to happen, right? Similarly, geographical reflections are also given through various sources, and we can cover various aspects of it, like what is the climate, what is the vegetation, what are the territory that this particular king was going ahead and controlling, right? And then there is religious reflection, where we talk about how tolerant the king was, how religion was being pursued and was being preached by the king. So, all in all, if I talk about all the aspects of it, you will get to understand that in one Indian literature theme, you are able to cover the spirit of the ages, you are able to cover the socio-political economic aspects of the life. What this helps you is that when you're revising and doing an active recall, you will be able to break it down, your own content, into these templates, and this will help you in not only using the template to a very high extent, but also will help you in remembering a lot of points and examples. And this is where our course becomes a unique identifier. These are the PYQs that were dealt by just this one page that we talked about. And this, I am sure, will give you a lot of confidence that you can address these particular questions with a lot more confidence now. Because at that point, when we wrote these answers, all three questions were not something that were traditional questions. These questions were really tough for us to even brainstorm during the exam. And that is why something like a structure can help you not only in orderly fashioning your answer, but also can help you in generating a lot more dimensions as compared to the normal dimensions that we present. And that's why this course is very special for us. We only have around 30 seats left. We start this course from July 1. You can contact at this particular number. I hope we see you in this course soon. Thank you.